Alright guys, so you guys know the global tournament is happening right now. So 3 days and 20 hours left. So I played it on stream. The Rock is 15-2, Durian is 16-1 right now. So I'm gonna introduce a couple of decks that I use in this global tournament. So my main concern was I was expecting a lot of Royal Giant in this global tournament. That's why I picked decks that are not gonna be weak against this RG. This deck, I would say it's a 50-50 matchup against the RG, so I'll share with you guys a couple of replays, one of it definitely against Royal Giant, and let's see how we won those matchups. So first replay here against Royal Giant, I have Lumberjack Loon first play, of course that is a play. And then we have Fisherman, so I would usually wait a bit and see what he does. Because this is not, I would most probably cycle Snowball if I had to. Okay, so he went Skelly, so I decided to... You can cycle Snowball if you want, but because I don't know what he was playing at this point, I decided to wait. He goes RG in the back. I know that it's going to be hard to defend, so we decided to go Lumberjack Balloon at the bridge, because when he gets his Fisherman, his Hunter, and everything else behind, that's going to be a lot of things coming at you if you choose to defend. Because if I cycle Lumberjack in the back, then it would have actually gone over to his side of the arena, I believe, because the Lumberjack has a better hit speed. The Fisherman here kind of got stuck there by the Electro, so we took a bit of damage left and right. But it was fine. I think at this point it was still okay. Pretty even on both sides. He has to defend. We're not down Elixir. So now we know he's playing Royal Giant. So the key is always to, if he goes RG in the back, you have to give a little bit of pressure. Not just RG, but against most other decks as well. And the way you're going to defend is most probably you want your Lumberjack on the RG. But you got to be careful of the Fisherman. So that's when the Royal Recruits come into play. If you play your Royal Recruits at the bridge, that can actually help to prevent the Fisherman from hooking your Lumberjack. So if you don't have your Lumberjack and Cycle, most probably you're going to need a Musketeer. Those are your two main DPS cards. So over here we still go with the Lumberjack, just to make sure that we do enough damage to the RG. Hopefully not to take a hit. That was Musketeer was there trying to snipe the Fisherman, trying to get some hits. As Hunter comes in a bit late, so we get a good amount of damage here from our Lumberjack, from our Musketeer, and now we're in a very good position. Okay, RG comes in. You can see I have an awkward cycle, so I have to go with Fisherman at the side just to pull it. Okay, so Hunter, we're gonna do a Snowball here as well as the Hill Spirit. I don't want to take too much damage from the Hunter. Fisherman is gonna be there to clean up, so I would say it's still pretty even at this point in terms of Elixir, and because I have a Fisherman on the field, so we gotta be ready. So his Fisherman was played second, so it's gonna be hooked by me no matter which part of the arena it's being played. He goes with his Electro Whiz there. I know he has a Hunter, so he can still defend the Balloon. So we're gonna wait here. We're gonna try to snipe that. If he fireballs, it's actually good. It means I can defend his push pretty okay on the left side. So he goes with the fireball, so we go in all in here because I know that he only has the Hunter left. He can't really do it. He messes up his positioning, so Balloon's gonna get through. Lumberjack is there on the tower. And now 25 seconds left. I know that he has to go with the RG. If not, he has no more time. So we go with the Recruit in case. And then we go with the Fisherman to hook it away. And that's it. So that is the key. Your Fisherman to pull it if you don't have your Lumberjack and Cycle. If you have your Lumberjack and Cycle, you're going to need your Recruits to block. Or at least something there to block to prevent the Fisherman from hooking your stuff away. So 6 seconds left. I'll just keeping up the pressure so he can't attack. And he chose to defend, so that's it. So that's my blueprint to defeat the RG. And I'll see you guys in the next replay. Okay. So this replay we're gonna be sharing against 3 Musketeers Royal Hawk with Fireball. This is not the best matchup, but we'll see how we handle it. Sometimes it's important that you know what your opponent has, especially when you're playing this Balloon deck. You gotta be really aware of your opponent's rotation. If he has a Hunter and now 3 Musketeers, it's not always that he's gonna have 9 Elixir to play that 3 Musketeer. Okay, we messed up with the Snowball here, so I still went in with the Hill Spirit to deny damage, but not a big problem. Okay, so he goes with that in the back. Royal Recruit's first play, I think it's a pretty okay first play because you have even stuff on both sides. Okay, so I'm not gonna let it, just let the Recruits do this. So we're gonna put the Lumberjack as well because we want to deny as much damage as we can. And then he goes with the Dark Prince in the back. I know it's gonna be all raged up, that's why we're gonna send extra minions over here to clean up all this. And he's gonna play his 3M right now, so that I think was good for me because I did a good amount of damage there in the single Elixir, which is very important. So over here he's up a bunch of Elixir because he has 3 Musketeers on the field and I'm not even full. So the key over here, I think we had to sacrifice some damage. We go with the Musketeer there, we go with the Fisherman, and then we go with the Snowball just to slow everything down. And that's how we defended sort of both sides. We are definitely still down in Elixir, but I think because only he has Royal Hog, so that's the main concern now. When he's gonna play his Royal Hogs, we're gonna need the Lumberjack there. So he knows that he's up in elixir, he goes aggressive, we go with the lumberjack, we'll wait for the heal spirit to jump, and then we'll still go in with the minions, because lumberjack alone you'll still take a bunch of damage. So he goes in with a very aggressive fireball. So that's when we decide to go with the heal spirit. I know he has ice golem, that's why we go in with the fisherman, try to pull it back. So that's how we get the heal, but the lumberjack is still gonna die, but I think we're still in a good position now with both his towers pretty low. And he has to respond to this with the Dark Prince, which is not ideal for him. So we have to sacrifice the musketeer here. It's gonna take a charge, but it will survive, so he still has to defend that. Okay, so now we know what he's playing, Royal Hogs. It's gonna be hard to deny Royal Hogs because we don't really have too much of a splash. And he has Fireball. If you go with minions, he can just Fireball them. So the key over here is actually just to defend and counter push with this deck. So we go with the Lumberjack in front to protect the weaker tower. And then we go with minions high to handle the musketeers on the other side. So overall, still pretty okay, 420 left. On his side, I have to go with the balloon, I know, because if we don't go with the balloon, there's no way we're getting damage. So we have to go with the balloon. We have to go in with the musketeer to deny the Dark Prince, and then we get some death damage here. Okay, so we have to keep up the pressure with 20 something seconds left, because I know that I don't have a direct damage, and he can just send Royal Hogs and Fireball. So that's why we keep up the pressure over here. We keep once we have the rage, we can send the balloon if we need, but he doesn't defend. Okay, so he goes with the Hogs. I was trying to defend because I think that I might be able. I place the musketeer there so he can counter push. We go with the snowball, trying to slow everything down, but unfortunately he still gets the tower. But again, we're in good shape right now. 936 on his left. So I know I just have to be patient, or I can go all in like that, because he cycled the hunter in the back, and that was his mistake. That was his biggest mistake, to cycle the hunter in the back. He could have played the 3M over there. So he doesn't have a building, that's why we can do that. If he played his 3M in the back, I think he would have been able to defend. So when he played something like that in the back, that's when we can try to punish. Last replay, I'm going to share this Royal Hogs deck. It looks pretty much like a graveyard deck, just that you swap in your spells, poison for Fireball, and then your graveyard for your Royal Hogs. And there is no Knight. So this one has a quicker cycle, because you have Skellies and Hill Spirit, which allows you to keep up with the RG. So the last replay that I'll share will be definitely against RG, because as I said at the start of the video, I expected a lot of RG in this global tournament. So let's see how we handle this. Okay, Barbarian Heart first play is it's an okay first play. It depends whether you want to go high or low. Generally, I would, if I have some defense for a Hog Rider or a Battle Ram, I would go low. Because if you go high, there's a higher chance that he will snipe it. I don't want to play anything yet, because I don't know what he's playing. It's good to wait. So now we see the RG, so we go there. I don't want his Heal Spirit to heal the RG up, so we go with the barrel. And that's a pretty okay trade for me at the start, because we still have Bobs and then he has to defend. So now we know that he's playing RG. We gotta make sure that we can keep up with the cycle, because at that point when you don't have your Barbarian Heart for his RG, you're gonna take quite a bit of damage. So we're trying to make him choose here whether he fireballs to the left or right. He goes with the log and the fireball. So now we know exactly his entire deck, and we're pretty okay. We're down a bit after we play this musketeer, but he still has to defend that. So I think that's fine. So yeah, the key is always make sure that you cycle your Skellies and your Hill Spirit. Make sure you're gonna have your Barbarian Heart for his Royal Giant. If you don't have it, you're gonna take quite a bit of damage, because none of your other troops have that much DPS to handle it. Yeah, at that point I know he's gonna Skellies that, so we go with the Hill Spirit just to make sure we heal up the Musketeer as well as to get some damage on the tower. So he goes with that. We're gonna deny his RG. Okay, so that's good. So over here I decided to go with the Fireball, because when he plays with the Electro Wizard deck, there is basically only Electro Wizard or Hunter to Fireball. So at this point I think it was okay for me to go with the Fireball. You guys can see I'm not actually down in Elixir. So if he's playing not the Electro Wiz but the Skeleton Dragons one, that's most probably what you want to save your Fireball for, because the Fireball doesn't actually kill the Hunter. Okay, so in this case, now we know what he's doing. So we always try to go with Royal Hogs to bait out the Fireball. If he uses his Fireball on defense, it's actually good for me. So you guys can see now, I was caught in the cycle without the heart. So we go with Dragons high, Musketeer low, because if you put everything low, he's just gonna Fireball, right? So we take quite a bit of damage. That's what happens when you don't have your heart in cycle. And then over here, he used his Fireball, so definitely there is no need to wait anymore. We'll wait. We know he's gonna log, so we have to wait for the log before we play the Hill Spirit. And then we do okay damage. It was pretty even. And we just now in double elixir, definitely you can keep up with a cycle. So that's when you're just gonna need your Barbarian Hearts for his Royal Giant. Just put your hearts in the same lane that you want to attack, because it's most probably gonna pull both sides. So yeah, when he goes with the RG, we go with that just to force him to Fireball that. Then you can see the Musketeer here on the side that I want to go into. I can afford to take damage on the left side, so that's not a problem. Over here we cycle the Hill Spirit, we cycle our dragons, no, we cycle the barbarian, then we go with this hog because I know he has to defend. Yeah, he just used his fireball, so that Royal Hogs over there was actually key to help protect the musketeer, and that's how I actually won. But yeah, the main thing against the Royal Giant is actually to always keep up with the cycle. In single elixir or double elixir, you should be able, if you don't cycle 2 heavy cards. If you cycle your Barb Barrel, your Skeletons, and your Hill Spirit, you should be able to keep up with that. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the series, and I hope you guys do well in the global tournament as well. Why not try out my decks? Okay, if you guys are meeting a lot of Royal Giant, I would think this 2 decks that I introduced would be pretty okay. And also let me know how you do in your global tournament in the comments below, right? Okay, so don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube as well. That's gonna help me a lot as a content creator. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.